Enjoy the show. Play on my channel.
Have to make it properly. He sheaths his massive pole.
Yeah. I sheath my massive pole.
It was either a queen or a whore. I feel so bad for not remembering which because there is a very big distinction between the two. Sonic's third movie, Sonic's heroin habit. Sonic's going through some real shit right now.
Just like this next story. Triforce.
Going live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. The 305th Purjangers and Wallhangers Media Network presentation. The only podcast to, start live every week on a Tuesday or a Thursday. The Triforce Podcast, of course. I am your host.
Why?
Matthew Bugrail, the Mat Man. And in the Purjanger box, we have one Katerina Thermoscara, Wonderful Woman, as well as Christopher Bristow, the old man, and his daughter, and our omnipotent presence that is Stephen Bugrail, Big Brother. I'm getting to you, man. Our hero of time, Link Diablo, mascot.
He's below.
Yes.
Where we want you to like, subscribe, and comment.
Yes, he's below me. But
he's a 2-foot-high dog. Where else is he going to be?
Exactly. He's not going to be above me.
Oh boy.
We come here for the same reason every single week, and that's because tonight, Pirate Queen needs a doctor, retiring Robotnik, Unreal Tomb Raider, and so much more on the Triforce Podcast. Of course, we want you to hop on over here to pjandwh.com where you're going to find all the crazy and lucky nutty moments right up top. Just like after this podcast, you'll find last week's Triforce Podcast. I forget what I so eloquently named it. I could pull it up really quick. But scroll down, you'll find last week's Lug Nuts Podcast, which was bigger, fatter, wider Civic. Which was, of course, the ultimate Kanye song that we thought of.
It's a free one for him,
It's a Yeezy special.
He needed it. And then last week's Triforce Podcast, Big Brother, what does that say on the laptop screen? Laptop screen. There you go. Right here.
Step away from his mouth. No.
Facebook. It says Facebook. That's what it
Yeah, right here. What does this say? Right there.
something PlayStation.
Oh.
Speaking
of ball hogs, back to PlayStation is the Triforce Podcast that'll pop up here. That's what I was trying to get to.
Oh boy,
such a well.
We're doing real swell.
We're starting off right, like hitting the
real wood machine. We are
like hitting the second tab while Janger gaming. Big Brother going through Elden Ring, really expertly crafting your way through there.
Lightning. And lightning and all that stuff.
Yeah, you got your faith build.
Yeah, that one's a lot of fun.
Well, here's Zeus.
A big old heavy
from far away
and lightning spell.
That sword that you got for your samurai is fucking impressive. Like,
I did. I got the wash pole.
It's literally like a fucking fishing pole.
It's kind of funny when they do the animation because it's like a 20-foot long sword, and he puts it in the sheath. His arm would have to be.
Yeah, he would have to like.
He'd have to orient in many
pop out
ways.
His arm and stick it in.
So you're saying he sheaths his pole.
Yeah, he sheaths his pole. He doesn't let it fling out.
Sir, we have to. If we're going to make that joke, we have to make it properly. He sheaths his massive pole.
Yes, I sheath my massive pole.
Not just
You're
a
not
pole.
even into the story.
Massive pole.
He was sheathing a pole for at least 7 Let's Plays by now, okay?
Oh, yeah, massive.
He's been sheathing poles for a long time, but now he's sheathing his massive pole. That is the difference.
You know, I don't always pull out my
mind
pole,
you.
but when I do, it gets huge.
We've got the Katarina praying. That means we are...
That's off to a good start right here.
We're heading in the right direction.
Oh, we hit the right mark.
But our first story has a little hope because an Akira fan builds an amazing motorcycle based on the series. Of course, thanks to comic book resources via Boing Boing, no idea what that is, we've discovered
Boing, boing.
that a dedicated, and I think there's a video
think
there as well.
The giggity goes at the end of that one. Right? I think
Wow.
we should go back and do that.
How did I
You
forget a
should do
giggity?
giggity on the end of that one.
We need to back it up. Thanks to comic resources via Boing Boing, giggity.
There we go.
You're
That's
right.
much
That's so much better.
Yeah, that's much better.
That's so much better.
It sounds much better.
Yeah. I'm sorry I wasn't myself for a second.
Yeah.
I needed a Snickers. But we've discovered that a dedicated fan in Japan has made their very own working replica Akira cycle.
Genetically challenged, eat a Snickers.
Snickers would be a lot more profitable.
It's just not stopping.
No, it won't. We don't stop a rockin'.
Won't stop. Can't stop. Won't. I can't even get that right. Thank you.
Won't
for
stop,
a
can't
lovely
stop a
evening,
rockin'.
everyone.
Japan has made their very own working replica Akira cycle, and we must say it looks quite spectacular, which it does. It looks great. I mean, especially a for a fan-made cycle. What would your ultimate nerdy cycle be, though? Because Akira, I watched the anime movie. It was good. I loved it. But if I'm picking a fucking nerdy cycle, give me Ghost Rider.
Give me Cloud's cycle in Advent Children.
Ooh.
With all the swords.
I also thought the
That's
fucking
badass.
motorcycle from Star Wars, that one that Ahsoka Tano rode in the last season of Clone Wars. That shit, man. That'd be really fucking handy because you can go anywhere on that, man. You got no level cap.
I would have to say, I don't know if this is the best pick, but initially, of course, I thought Transformers and RC because
That's a
it
good
just
one.
feels like he'd be super handy.
And
you
he could
would
sit
not
on the couch and be a buddy.
You would not have to worry about refueling or anything like that because
Yeah, it's got
they
like-
didn't.
Nuclear or
Like I imagine even the
fusion,
Star Wars,
whatever.
even the Star Wars buggy has to fucking refuel somehow.
So I am sticking with RC. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's the big pick. That's the main pick right there. That's the big one. It's really good. You should keep that female Yoda pick back up. I like that better than the green screen. Yes, that fits. It fits so well. Yes, it fits so
It's
well.
Mandalorian.
I see what you did there.
Oh my goodness. man.
Just like
This next story,
Worth it, you are.
because it's a bit of a disappointment, but it's also a bit of hope. Dare I say, a dream. Because Obi-Wan Kenobi series is delayed slightly, but will premiere the first 2 episodes together. The
Yes, they
announcement,
just delayed it a week. It's not a big deal.
well, not a week, a couple days. Instead of Wednesday, it's coming out Friday with the first 2 episodes.
Friday
But
is a much better day for a day.
it is normally going to come out on Wednesday. It's just this initial launching. They're releasing on Friday for the first 2 episodes.
What date is that?
It's a Friday.
The 27th instead of the 25th.
So the Memorial Day weekend to give people the 4 days while they're off to watch it.
Brilliant!
And then on that Wednesday, they drop another.
But Obi-Wan Kenobi's new schedule also has a larger impact on the Disney Plus programming schedule. The series will now overlap with Ms. Marvel's series for 1 fewer week. Since Disney is releasing 2 episodes at once, Ms. Marvel is set to debut on June 8th, while Obi-Wan's run is scheduled to end around June 22nd.
I think
As
we
long
can
as
watch,
everything stays on
we can
schedule.
watch them both.
I hope as soon as you boot up the episode of Obi-Wan, you get a
My
other day.
attention can't take it. But maybe that's what they expect. You know, like, what? 2 shows? I don't know. But, you know, maybe it's something entertaining. But I'm really excited that for a premiere, especially as big as Obi-Wan, because there's a lot of fan chatter and hope and anticipation behind this, especially with our own expectations of it. There's a lot of stuff that is, people are really trying to focus on and see. So that Memorial Day weekend is going to give them time to watch and rewatch again, which Star Wars fans will.
And I know that this is a fruitless request, but if you're a fan and you're watching right now and that first episode comes out, please don't immediately shit on it because it's not living up to whatever expectations you have built in your head. Give
Oh
it
no, it's not
time.
going to live up to any expectations.
Give it a couple of episodes before you start trashing it.
Look, if you find the inclination to trash it, just ask yourself, was it better than the sequel trilogy? Yes, we're doing fine.
Yeah, ask me in 10 years if it's any good.
Because even
Well,
about
even
how
to
You
that
know what?
point-
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. Give it a decade.
Like everybody
because there were
squawks
things
in
that
the
were
beginning.
universally hated when they came out, and now looking back, they're like,
you know
that
what
wasn't
though?
that bad.
Exactly.
Could have done much worse.
Just like the prequels. The prequels, everybody hated when they came out. But now
That's exactly
you look
what I was
back on
referring
them
to.
and it's like, damn, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Everybody loved Mandalorian and this new direction they're going with Jon Favreau. I think a little bit of that is because of Jon Favreau's prestige in just filmmaking.
Mhm.
He's been an actor forever. He's now venturing into directing and helming series as a fan. Like, people have a lot of high hopes with him, and there's that expectation of what he's going to do. So it's a lot like a famous comedian. People are going to laugh because they love him, not because the joke's funny. That's my worry about
A
it.
famous person doing comedy.
There you go. That's
like
what that is.
what's Kramer's name? That guy. He had no act. They were just like,
Yeah.
well, where's the funny?
Mm-hmm.
He needed a writer. He wasn't a real.
Stand up. But
That's why he doesn't do it now.
I mean, maybe there's a little bit of false,
Racism shit.
worry there, but I mean, there is this little bit of worry of Star Wars, with any property that comes out on how they're going to handle it, to where we don't have that worry with, like, I mean, we'll settle with Marvel to be less argumentative because DC, they did Batman, right? But apparently
You tried.
some people disagree with that.
I thought Batman.
Unbelievable.
The Batman was awesome.
Unforgivable.
No, every art is subjective. That goes into TV shows and films as well. And if you don't
Mhm.
like it for legitimate reasons, then you don't like it. That's fine.
You don't have to
But
force
I-
anybody else to with your opinion.
Well, yeah, and if somebody tells you that they enjoyed it, and then you come back with, "Oh my God, that was trash," and like completely pick apart the film,
But
you're
that's where
doing
the
that for what?
conversation starts, isn't it?
There's
you
really
saying,
no
"Man."
reason to attack somebody's
Well,
enjoying of
So
something.
you saying, man, I
Enjoyment
really
of
like
something.
this series. And then your friend saying, man, that was garbage. That's where the debate starts. That's where you start to overturn him with, didn't you notice this? What are you talking about? And then you start going into the subtle differences of, look, this is why he had this scene like this. Because Batman is an artistic film. Not everybody is going to have that keen sense of saying, oh, well, I
No,
see why
absolutely.
they had this frame like this. I see why they have this. I see why they did not add the Joker Arkham scene in the movie, which, I mean, I still don't. But the only thing I could think of is they were worried about having too many villains. But it was an amazing fucking deleted scene.
I agree. I think that they made the right choice, though. I think
Yeah,
less is more
ultimately.
most of the time.
Ultimately.
Ultimately, I think they did make the right choice. All I'm saying is, if the first episode comes out and it's not 100% what you were looking for, and remember,
They could
you're
be
watching
building.
someone else's vision, not your own.
Yes.
Pause. Let it sit. Watch
That's the
it
main
a couple
problem.
of times. Wait for a few
Watch
episodes to
it
come out
for
before you
10
decide that you're going to
years.
eviscerate it. We
Well, that's-
react too quickly, and that's when people end up quitting the job or shutting off
Yeah.
all their social medias and getting run out of town because we were so extremely critical right off the bat. Look what they did to Hayden Christian when the prequels came out, and now look at how
Oh, yeah.
lauded he is right now, and how excited people are about having him come
They're
back. For the
all
Obi-Wan
excited, like me seeing my main man Connor.
Right. Like they weren't the ones completely
One
breaking it apart when it came out. Oh, hey, Connor.
One punch. My main man.
You just got done.
I just got done baseball.
All right.
Nice.
I got some water ice.
That's awesome.
That's the best part.
Water
Well
ice
done.
is the best.
Water ice.
Water ice.
Water.
We love that water ice. That's
love
that Philly in it.
I
We
love
don't
how-
have water. We got that water.
I love how I did the air
Water
quotes.
Great.
Water
Water
ice.
One punch.
One punch.
All right, Connor. Enough. Close the door.
Know when to leave the joke alone, kid. Who is commenting all that spam? But spam aside, I think that Obi-Wan has potential for a lot, especially if they do what Filoni is known for, which is pulling from lore, or which is now legends from the comics and other extended media, because Obi-Wan had a comic series in that realm to where this is happening after the Clone Wars. And it's pretty much him in the desert, talking to Qui-Gon a little bit, you know, watching after Luke, you know, messing with sand people, you know, protecting that and all the kind of different wildlife and stuff that's on there in this universe, to where we know that there's actually a lot of fucking shit that wants to kill you on Tatooine.
It's
There
a
could
wonderful
actually,
place.
there could be a very good story here for just this nomad who lost his faith and his whole purpose in life, trying to find himself and knowing that he has this ultimate duty of protecting this kid because he's the last hope for his religion or cult, however you look at it.
I got a little bomb dropper for you. We're not on Triforce. We're on Walljanger Gaming right now.
We're cross-platform.
It's a cross-platform promotion. We're trying to promote the
We're promoting Walljanger Gaming.
whatever.
I mean,
He'll post it later.
our
something.
omnipotent presence that is Big Brother, Stephen
There's so
Bukro.
many boxes.
So many check marks.
I'm paid to read all the boxes at work.
Not here.
Yeah.
He's not paid at all here. I actually pay him. This is the service I get for payment. But we move on to our next story, which is payment enough, because Legend of the Sea Devils trailer reveals Jodie Whittaker's doctor meeting the famed pirate Madam Ching. And there's a trailer below.
Oh, that famed pirate.
Yeah, the queen.
Yeah, oh yeah, madam.
It'll load up in a second. It's right above there in that blank spot. But Madam Ching
That's what
was.
she said.
It was. Fuck. I almost want to ask you to look it up on Google, because I believe she was a prostitute turned, or she was either a prostitute or a queen turned pirate. And she was like the most famed fucking pirate in China. And it's.
Rings a bell.
You know what I'm talking about now? It was either a queen or a whore. I feel so bad for not remembering which, because there is a very big distinction between the two.
Could she have been the queen of the
A lot of
whores?
money.
I'll sell. Your mother was a whore.
That's how
Your
she-
mother was a
I don't-
hamster
yeah, I
and
don't
your
know.
father smelled of
We're
elderberries.
butchering history. That's
We
another
are.
podcast.
My God, that's enough butchering of history. But we'll have to learn from the doctor, because Jodie Whittaker
It was a fascinating trailer.
has been, oh God, reloaded. Jodie Whittaker has been our doctor for
This
quite
week on Dynasty Warriors of Our Lives.
Dynasty Warriors of Our Lives.
There's no reload.
Hit the X, and then that X, and then reload it. There we go. It'll load
Yeah,
up.
it's just
Or
great.
It's thinking. It's thinking. It takes a while. God.
Let's all think about whatever the hell
Goddamn
this story
fucking-
was.
exit out of it and get a goddamn new tab open there or something. I don't know.
Press F5 for refresh.
Thank God that ad box is gone. But Jodie Whittaker has been, there we go.
I don't think this is gonna work. Your magic.
Wait for it. And now we're at the same spot. But Jodie Whittaker has been.
Wow, I really got us far there, didn't it?
God,
Really
this
got
is
us.
such a polished podcast, isn't it? Has been our doctor for quite a few years. Doctor Who, but this year we're gearing up to say goodbye to take on the 13th regeneration of the Time Lord. Now we have a trailer which we can't see apparently.
It's so it's so fascinating. You're imagining.
Why don't you just
it? Okay.
Google the Sea Dragon Doctor Who trailer and see if we could pop it up on Google before that fucking goddamn shitty. You know what? I'm gonna remember that website and never go to them again. But but the Legend of the Sea Devils. There we go.
Ugh. They're gonna charge me. Aren't they?
No. Yeah. No, that's not it. That's Sea Dragons, Sea Devils. I said the wrong name. I said the wrong.
Don't you want
God.
to see this Victorian thing?
The Sea Dragon? I mean, now I kind of want to know what the fuck it is, but there we go. I mean, Sea Devils, Doctor Who. You could add the Doctor Who thing in there. That'd probably get it close.
Wonderful.
This is
I've done my
prime
thinking
content.
for the day. How is this?
Superior
Very-
content.
This is amazing.
This is amazing content we're throwing out
So,
there.
the Sea
There's
Devils.
fascinating.
The next installment of Whittaker's final adventures as the Doctor is set to air April 17th of 2022. I can edit that other stuff out. The journey is a pirate-loving dream, but is also a bittersweet moment for fans of her of her take on the Doctor. Whittaker took over the show after Peter Capaldi left the show. New
The
showrunner.
writer fucked everything up.
New showrunner Chris Chibnall would be that guy, and the two are leaving together.
Good.
Former
Not Jodie
showrunner,
Whittaker. I'd like her to stay. But
yeah,
that
but
other guy can suck
former
up.
showrunner
Well,
Russell
rest.
T. Davies will be making his return to the show. All of this is both exciting and still sad for those of us who loved Jodie Whittaker's
She
work.
was great.
Indeed.
The trailer for Legend of the Sea Devils brings us to a new crew of pirates as the Doctor, Yaz, and Dan, John Bishop, try to figure out what is going on. What is going on? Taking us back to historical episodes of the show that made it so iconic at its inception in 1963, the episode brings to life the famed pirate Madam Ching, and still has some iconic beings that the Doctor has to understand. So, Doctor Who, going back in time, especially Madam Ching, I remember it from memes of talking about this famed pirate, one of the most, infamous pirates of her time, and everybody feared her, and she was, I want to say she was a whore. And I don't mean that as a bad thing.
Oh, she was the king of the whores. That's why they
Queen.
called her the Pirate King.
Zer of
Concubine?
the whores.
Right. Well,
Concubine, or I don't know. She was a pirate. We'll just go with the pirate thing, all right? That was badass enough.
Cool.
She had a fucking, she probably had the patch, which was for switching between, under deck and above deck, eye adjustment. Like, oh, I can see it. I'm not going to break my fucking neck. That kind of thing. But I'm
Did you learn that
interested.
in Mythbusters?
A little bit. No, a meme. That's what the only way anybody learns anything these days is through fucking,
I read it in
Did
books.
you know memes? That's the only way.
You were today years old for this.
Yeah. Outside of that, it could be
Stupid.
absolute utter bullshit and people would still fucking believe it. But we hope that doesn't happen. A lot like this next story. I hope this doesn't ring true for at least any kind of permanence, but Jim Carrey announces his potential departure from acting.
Keep in mind, preface this, he dropped this article on April 1st.
And he also had a choice, unlike Will Smith. The hits just keep on coming. Days after Hollywood mainstay Bruce Willis retired from acting in the fucking tragic, goddamn debilitating brain illness that he has. Like, even if he had the kind of all right, everybody thought he was a dick. At least if you were his boss. He had this kind of like two-faced kind of, multi-layered persona to where a lot of different stories came up about meeting Bruce Willis. But his category of work is massive, just like our story. To where
The roast of Bruce Willis was awesome. By the
it
way.
was fucking hilarious. But, I mean, we lose Bruce Willis, now potentially losing Jim Carrey. But Jim Carrey, 30 years, starting off with stand-up, going into this industry. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, he's on a press junket for it, and Carrey stated that he may be taking a break from the adventure with the Blue Blur, not Bill Burr. That's a different guy. The Blue Blur and Bill Burr are not associated.
Bill Burr.
And Bill's
Yet.
not blue.
Well,
The Blur is,
I
but Bill
don't.
isn't.
I don't know how his emotions are today. He may be blue. He may be happy. I don't know.
Could be turquoise.
Jim Carrey says, "Well, I'm retiring." Yeah, probably.
Turquoise Burr
Um,
and not the Blur.
I'm being fairly serious. It depends if the angels bring the angels bring some sort of script that's written in gold ink that says that says to me it's going to be really important for me to see. I might continue down the road, but I'm taking a break. I really like quiet life, and I really like putting paint on canvas. I really love my spiritual life and feel like, and this is something you might never hear another celebrity say as long as time exists. I've had enough. I'm done. I am enough.
And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
You know, I mean, it just makes sense. It's a very Jim Carrey statement, and who can blame him? 30 fucking years of entertaining us. I can't ask him for another movie. I would love it.
He
But-
can really devote himself to his painting now.
His
He's
painting
had some
isn't bad.
shit
It's
happen
just
to him, no. So more power to him. If he wants to retire, he's earned it.
no. His painting is
yeah.
not bad. His painting is they're actually really good. It's very impressionist and like a little bit
Some of it's a bit weird.
like it's not realistic. You know, it's very conceptual, but it's interesting and it's thought provoking. I do enjoy looking at what comes out of his deranged mind.
Mhm.
But it's the same reason why I am a fan of him on the screen. So it's obviously you can say I'm never going to do this another day in my life, and then put your foot in your mouth later on down the line. This is him leaving the door open, like, hey man, you give me a golden script, not a semi filled with money. You give me a golden script, something that is so good that I have to do this. I will come back. But I'm not. I'm done. Like, he has enough money to just fuck off for the rest of the time.
He had that much money for a while.
Plenty of money for art supplies,
Yes.
because that shit is fucking expensive. Good Lord. But I'm curious to see because you have this hit franchise of Sonic the Hedgehog, and he is a great Dr. Robotnik. Like, do you see him continuing in this franchise just because he's awesome as Dr. Robotnik? Like, or does that script for Sonic 3 have to be fucking fire?
I'm pretty sure if you throw enough fucking money at him, he'll just say, all right, I'll do it. And I'll just be me.
I mean, it just seems from his statement, he's just like, no thanks.
You can
gotta
still
inspire him.
be on a part-time schedule of doing only the projects that you want. You could say you formally retire for taking all offers and you're only going to accept the ones that you are going after. Like, you hunt for the ones that you want to do.
Well,
I
don't
just
think
kind of
he's going
see.
to do any hunting. If something truly amazing passes him,
Well,
by.
exactly. I
Like,
kind of saw
think
this.
of some of the things he's done.
But we don't
like,
know. So we know he's a fan of the material. So knowing that he's a fan of the material, we don't know the back end conversation that he's already had. Maybe there's already a third movie already on the sign on for this contract. So he's done let's just say that is the case. And if he does a third, then that's done, because then you introduce the whole cast of Sonic and you can move on.
Unless he dies in this movie, then that caps that right in the fucking knees, doesn't it?
And we'll see. You can't get rid of Robotnik.
Bat. Sonic kills Robotnik with a stray quill. Sonic's third movie, Sonic's heroin habit.
Oh Lord.
Sonic's going
Mercy.
through some real shit right now.
just like this next story.
Talk about real shit. Real shit will happen when the bomb drops. Because the Fallout show
I just want to set the world on fire.
has a new lead, a creative team.
Thank you
But-
for that, dear big brother.
No,
Yeah.
but it has no release date.
Yeah. Get ready to be disappointed.
Details are currently scant when it comes to
I'm
what
skeptical.
the plot of this forthcoming series, which is currently in production, might be. But it is
gonna be
known.
It's gonna be like Fallout 76. You make your own plot, and it just
That's
it.
that's really hard to produce. I
that's why it's taking so long.
I kind of feel like it's like not even a year since they announced it. It's been a couple months.
They're just landscaping it.
Okay.
Whatever film people do.
But it is known that, like the video game series, the TV series will be set in a retro futuristic alternate future set several decades after a nuclear war between China and the U.S. We're getting there.
Why can't you
Has
just say
left
the Fallout universe? Like
most of the world irradiated wasteland.
we know, it's in the Fallout universe. Yes,
So
giant killer scorpions, mole rats,
whether the series could
zombie-like people
will
We know
take
that.
place within the
Cool.
same continuity as the games or adopt a new timeline, a la the Silver Timeline, like Paramount Plus's Halo series, which we talked about in the credits, which you can see on Spotify and YouTube. You have to speculate. So, old man, what would you like to see? Would you like to see a Silver Timeline option to where they just do their own thing, or do you want them to do something in, even if it's a separate story and location and setting, but in that same? Oh God, I killed R. Kelly.
He killed Kelly.
Oh my God, I killed Kelly.
You bastard.
Title of the podcast. It's so adequate that we had it on the Fallout story.
He fell out over it
He did fall out.
from the ceiling to the floor.
Fuck, that was such a accidentally skillfully crafted joke. That's awesome. Anyway, what would you
Some of the
rather
best
see?
jokes are accidents.
A very well done story that
Or a
is
shitty
in the
story.
video game universe, but a different location, different main characters, maybe talking about the Lone Wanderer or any
So
of
we
the
say
other
this all the
people.
time. It does not matter what you do with a video game IP, just as long as the fucking story is good. I don't care if it's connected or if it is. That I'll
What
leave
would
that
you
up to
rather?
them.
What would you rather? Do you want them to have? I would rather them have this Silver Timeline option to where we have a loose basis of what we know, and now they have free reign to really have a fun story.
But it's a post-apocalyptic, so that's your loose basis. Is every
There's-
Fallout game is post-apocalyptic? Now fucking survive. All
yeah,
right,
but
go.
if you try to go like, all right, we're gonna start at Fallout 3, and then we're gonna go that. I don't want that. I want
I don't want it.
a Silver Timeline.
Start out with your
or
own series of vaults and do it that way. There
go
you go.
with a
Done.
separate place.
Make
but-
it Siberia. I don't give a shit.
The Fallout series will stream on Amazon Prime. Westworld creator and executive producer Jonathan Nolan will direct the pilot episode. The writer of 2018's Tomb Raider and executive producer of Portlandia will be helming the series. Ellen Purnell has been cast as one of the leads in the series, as well as Walton Goggins, who will play a ghoul.
Will he be carrying the boat?
He will be carrying the boats.
Yes. But who's going to carry the boat?
I will just
Chris will
applaud them
carry
for
the boat.
attempting to get a better story than Fallout 76.
And you're going to carry the boat.
Well, some of the stories in Fallout 76 were cool. It's just they were on a tape and not
What
said,
you want, smooth skin?
not said by people, and NPCs.
It's the lack
you know?
of effort.
It was
that
the
I
lack of
don't
effort.
like.
It wasn't the story. They may have had a really
It
good
may-
story in there.
Yeah.
The
There's an
problem
idea.
was that it
you
was
need
a
NPCs
fucking
to drive the
recording.
narrative of a story. Isn't that a wonderful
You know,
idea?
the colorful characters, you think of...
you leave it
what's
on
her name,
people.
like
you
Carla
leave it on
or some of the
actual
other
players.
people.
Players are just dicks.
you
Fucking
meet in the
detective,
beginning.
what was it? Fontaine?
Nick Valentine.
Nick Valentine.
Like, some of the characters, that's the whole reason to play.
yeah.
Like, what was the woman in the, Megaton junk shop, whatever it was?
Oh,
Where
yeah.
She was writing the Wasteland Survival
Was it
Guide. and
Morgan's
you had to,
Junk
like,
Shop?
roll in the, yeah, whatever it was.
I want to say it was like Morgan or some shit like that. What was
Something like
the
that, where you had to get irradiated.
old man? Look that up.
and-
The chicken megaton.
You're real vague on the Vegameter, but I'll type what you said. Chick in megaton.
from Fallout
3.
3?
Not what I wanted to see.
With your daughter behind you, I can only imagine.
Oh boy.
This is an awesome podcast.
He runs up, gives me crap, then goes on about how great I am. That's just not my daughter to me, but the comment about the chicken megaton on 360. It's very fitting both ways.
Craterside Supplies.
Yes, Creator Side
Moira
Supplies.
Brown.
There
Yeah,
you go.
it was
Moira.
Moira.
Moira. So some of their
Moira.
they were the best.
That's a name you don't hear anymore. You don't hear a Moira.
And then they
Except in X-Men.
Moira McTaggart, who is a
Yeah.
cunt. But
that could be an A+.
it could be an A+ insult. But one thing that's an A+ idea is for you to hop on over to facebook.com/APLUS Tri-State, and you can book A+ catering and events for your next event or catering need, because they will have all the latest in delicatessens like chili lime shrimp, smoked Gouda, and turkey sliders. They have experimented in the kitchen like a mad scientist to bring you all the latest in delicious delicatessens. So you can be the hit of your next office party if you go over to facebook.com/APLUS Tri-State and book them for your next delicious need. Because my God, these pictures keep getting even more and more delicious each week. Like, my God, all that. Fantastic. Book them today.
Welcome.
Something else you're going to want to book, Dano, is this next story.
That was a good
Ayo.
segue.
Because Nintendo's original 1930s headquarters just reopened as a hotel.
Is it
Really?
before they were a gaming conglomerate?
Nintendo's original HQ building in Kyoto has been renovated and reopened
Kyoto?
as
Kyoto.
there you go, as a boutique hotel that preserves many of the building's original features. Motel Mayufu Yukaro opened.
Mara Fuckaroo.
There you go. I like that one better. Marafuckaroo.
There you go. Say it with conviction and everyone will believe you.
Opened for
Except for that
business
person.
today.
He won't believe it. He's
April
like, I'm not
1st.
Fuckaroo.
Marking
Fuck
the
you, fuckeroo.
first time
For saying
this
fuckaroo.
her
wrong.
historic location has
Sorry,
been
man.
open to the
I don't
public.
speak Japanese.
Although we should note that this is not a museum. It is a fairly expensive
Museum.
Yeah, it is a fairly expensive hotel.
The house that
They probably
built.
mentioned that because so many people wander in for photos. Get the hell out!
We're a business.
I'm gonna
Fuckers.
call the emperor. Damn it!
And that will make it
Climb
very
up the ladders
difficult.
and attack Donkey Kong.
for many game fans to stay the night. So IGN Japan visited with camera on hand to give us these awesome pictures. I would assume. I'll see it
They
later.
let them
when I edit.
in the building, and they guarantee you they just let them look at the rooms.
Before Nintendo was called Nintendo, it was called, good Lord, get ready for this. Not that. Fusajiro Yamakushi.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yamakachi. There's a chi at the
No.
end. Yamakuchi?
No.
Yamakuchi,
That's
Yamakuchi.
worse.
Who began making and selling.
She's chuckles over here, and she's like, no.
I played all types. So they were making and
Called
selling.
shotgun comedy. We go for everything.
Blam! You're laughing. Either
I
way.
cannot.
It began making and selling Japanese playing cards. I TNT'd the rails. There are no more rails
There
in
better
this
be some playing
podcast.
cards in that room. You know what I'm saying?
You know. So the Japanese playing cards
fish.
called Hanafuda in 1889. As his business grew, it moved into his first proper HQ in 1933 and later was named Marafuku Co. Ltd.
You remember the cereal? The Nintendo
Yes,
cereal?
they had a cereal.
Nintendo, it's a cereal now.
Wow.
Okay, I'm the only one.
Princess.
It was a blast from the past, but no, I do remember hearing about Nintendo cereal. And eventually vacated the building in 1959. It has remained standing ever since. And Hotel Marufukuro, you can see many remnants of the original Nintendo HQ. The original Marufukuro nameplate still remains at the top of the front building, written in stylistic Japanese kanji characters, and can be seen stenciled on old supply crates along with Japanese characters for Nintendo. Meanwhile, the plaque on the exterior wall remains untouched, reading Nintendo Yaramuchi and listing trump cards and karta that the company made at the time. The plaque is so old that it reads the text from right to left as Japanese used to be written, which is very
You're
interesting.
saying,
I thought that was very interesting
welcome.
because
What's the
the
hotel's name? What's the hotel's name?
Yaramuchi. So I found it was very interesting that Japanese was read right to left, and now it's read left to right because that's what you get if you're a manga fan, you know to read left to right on the page and back to front.
Right to left. You read right to left.
Oh, right to left, not right left to right. Anyway, it was vice versa, potato. But I just found that
You've heard it
interesting.
both ways.
Like, imagine that. Like, today and age, if we just started writing the opposite way on the page,
Mm.
that would
Probably
throw
had to do with Eastern influence.
everything into chaos.
Hmm.
A random picture of a guy. Okay.
It's important. But I found it also interesting that they kept pretty much everything the same. They named everything after each, different area after a set of cards, like spade, heart, clubs, diamonds. And the diamond was the new area to where it's like a Japanese suite housing in a whole bunch of new shit. Like
Horseshoes, clovers, yellow moons.
like they have the storage area, the place where the
Rainbows.
Yamuchi
Red balloons.
Oh, there's red balloons now?
The
Red balloons.
the Yamuchi's family quarters.
Great.
If you're a cuckoo, you can have some fun RPGing in there. I don't know, but
I don't know about you, big brother, but the Captain Crunch tears up the roof of my mouth.
It does.
Monkey Island is our
That's
next
what
story.
it's designed to do. The only way to eat Captain Crunch is to eat it in pain. And enjoy
Monkey
it.
Island gets a sequel.
This is a free ad for Captain Crunch. Pick some up. Cut the roof of your mouth. It's great.
with Return to
Delicious
Monkey Island
great.
from
It's
Peanut butter crunch,
delicious
baby.
blood.
creator Ron Gilbert.
The blood adds to the flavor.
Oh, iron.
Got you to look up there.
Devolver Digital and Lucasfilm Games have announced that a brand new entry in the beloved Monkey Island series is on its way, with the original series creator Ron Gilbert steering the ship. The new game, called Return to Monkey Island, is set for release sometime this year, very vaguely. The news of the new game first broke on Gilbert's Twitter page, where he posted a tweet that read, "A little something we've been working on for the past 2 years in complete secrecy." LinkedIn, the tweet was the announcement trailer for Return for Monkey Island. This was quickly followed up by tweets from both Lucasfilm Games and Devolver Digital, also announcing the game as well. So we have a new Monkey Island franchise, a good action adventure click series, very legendary in gaming lore and mythos. Old man, you a fan of the Monkey Island?
Yes,
Or a
I
fan
am.
of the
I still
monkey
play
in general.
I still play it on backwards compatible for the Xbox.
Okay, I mean,
Hop on the Monkey Island.
It's
Old
it's a lot.
Frosty.
It's very entertaining. It's a very homage to like Maniac Mansion, Day of the Tentacle, Full Throttle, those games. It's very esque in that, where it's just like click here, open this, pick up this phone, pick up this item, say this thing.
hey, who
know,
doesn't hop on the monkey every once in a while?
You shut your face.
Very expertly crafted joke again.
You're
But-
welcome.
Return to Monkey Island says that the game will pick up after the series' second entry, though it is not the last game that was released. Not by a long shot. There have been a total of 5 games in the series, with the most recent being Tales of Monkey Island. We will
Yep.
talk about that one.
Tales of Monkey Island, the return of justice. Oh, right. Justice.
Yes.
Right.
The reasoning for
Forgot the
this
joke.
can be found in one Gilbert's blog post dating back to 2013 titled, "If I Made Another Monkey Island." One of the things he mentioned is that the game would follow upon after the second game, which makes sense. Gilbert left LucasArts in 1992, meaning that it did not work. He did not work on the projects that followed on the game after the game's second entry. So I don't know how big a difference Monkey Island 1 and 2 were as opposed to the other ones, because I wasn't a real
completely
big
different story.
fan of the series. Was there?
You would enjoy it now that it actually has like voiced
That's probably why I didn't play it.
Original.
I'm
the
never
original
going
game
to know
was-
what
was
these
text.
people are saying. Click, 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 click. Click, click, click. Okay, I can move on now. Click, 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 click. Okay,
Hey,
well, back to the fun.
action. Back to the fun.
No, look, there's
Yeah.
reading. Look, tons of reading.
Yeah, back when games made you read. Fuck you, nerd. I don't gotta read. Read all goddamn day now.
Yeah.
But I enjoy reading.
We're not reading the same things.
No, we're not. You're not.
No, we're not.
Leave it at that.
I legally can't talk about the things
Everybody
I read.
has
By
an
law.
equal level of disdain for reading by your adultdom. It's just like, yeah, I read. And it's just left at that.
I got here, didn't I?
Like
This next story. Yeah, that's exactly like.
the Unreal 5 engine.
It's like I was just here.
Yeah, there we go. The Unreal 5 engine has officially been released. Check out these pictures, man.
I've been messing with the Unreal Engine on my PC, just seeing what I can create, and from
Have you created my house yet? Well, Big
No, I
Brother's
have
house
not.
yet.
that requires money and time, and something that I actually want to do.
Let's
Oh,
see.
damn.
Damn. Wow. It was like
looks pretty
at
good.
least a second afterwards that I felt that burn, but I still felt it.
This looks really good.
It does look good. All the other pictures, I was like, damn, is this actual reality or what? But This is the only picture to where I'm like, all right, we're still a good bit.
I broke it.
You did. But that picture of the face was
Holy
like,
crud.
we're still a good bit far away. I don't know what you did.
I broke it.
Oh, you're way too zoomed in.
I hit a button and then it broke.
Hold down control and zoom down your mouse wheel.
There we go. That's good.
Ooh, could you say it in a condescending way?
So, like that picture and that picture
That
right
one
there,
looks really good, although
That
it is
one-
blurry in the background.
it's
but
almost like an
still,
artistic image to where you'd see it in the
it's a
Batman.
photolistic dissolve feature, and they're focusing on the traffic light,
Yes.
and the background is like has that slight dissolve on it, so it looks like
It looks
zoom in,
good.
zoom out of a camera.
The
Don't get me wrong, it looks
materials
good.
and buildings and everything looks almost spot on. But then you get to that face picture. Like that. Even that looks great. That looks like a
Yeah,
fucking
that looks-
studio
that
that
looks
you would
very
make
realistic.
any kind of picture in. But you click on, like, even that one looks great. Looks like you're about to go into a rave. I don't know, maybe take some Molly or some shit. That one's a free-to-play game. Both of them,
No,
I
it's
guess.
not.
Not the Molly. That costs money, but it's still a good time nonetheless. Keep going. That's that's Lyra, which is the shooter that they made with this Unreal 5 engine.
I was going to
And
say,
It's
if you're down on like doing those drugs, you got those code names for them. We got a problem.
the Lyra. This is the one thing to where I'm like, all right, we're still a good bit off from questioning reality because it doesn't look realistic. The Zoom box, the projector box right above me, that looks realistic.
Yeah,
I can
one's
see-
not paying attention.
I can see all
Two
of
of them aren't.
I can see all of your
And
faces.
then there's
I can see you look real. There's a texture that the graphics are still not gripping
with-
with skin.
with the still photo, it doesn't look. It looks better than it did before. It looks really good.
Yes, 100% better than it did before.
Human skin's really hard to do.
It's really hard to do. We're still far off from human skin because even when you look at some of the other stuff, like they have, go on from that one right there, the metal, and it's still a little bit too cartoonistic.
Yeah.
It's not quite realistic enough. Now, light imaging and all the different stuff they're doing with ray tracing, that right there, really good. But you see, if you even scrolled in on the hairs on his chin, like I was really looking at that earlier, you could see almost like a little bit of peach fuzz on it. But it's still off a bit. It's so eerily
Nitpicky
close.
motherfucker.
What? That's the scary part is I'm being nitpicky. That's the scary part. How close until somebody straps some VR goggles on your face and then you just have balls in your eyes? That's a
Don't
prank
zip it there,
waiting
sir.
to happen in the future. I'm
Don't-
just the one that said it first. So
Don't click on
copyright,
that.
you know?
Program.
Even that one, a little bit off. But as far as gaming wise, it looks fantastic. As opposed to where we're at now. Now, there's a bunch of companies. There's this back and forth relationship between the Unreal Engine and developers, which is going to propel this new engine forward to where they actually say the Coalition, another AAA studio, has announced that they're working on their next game in Unreal 5 engine. And as well as The Matrix Awakens, which was that VR game that came out in Unreal 5 engine. It's now available on PC on some aspect in general somehow, but
On
It's-
consoles as well.
these
It's free.
it's just a high-level lighting techniques that were previously only available on the high-end computers. Now, thanks to Coalition, they're adding this into the Unreal 5 engine to where now these high-level lighting techniques are being able to be used on low graphics and low-level computing engines. And that's the big step. It's all about the engine in gaming. And that's almost not really talked about as to how important this most fundamental engine is to where when you're talking about Unreal is one of the biggest gaming engines that is out there.
It's Premiere.
I remember
It's
when it came
awesome
out.
as far as like the benchmark. I would just call it the benchmark standard as far as engine games.
Because you look at what was it? One game, it was like a Foundation they were using, and then like Star Citizen, they're using what was it? Frostbite.
No, they have the Amazon one, Lockjaw. No, not Lockjaw.
Lockjaw.
Lumberyard.
Lumberyard. I was about to say Lockheed, but that's a completely different company.
That's they don't. They sell actual missiles.
They're not in the game.
If you're looking for real missiles and real fighter jets, give them a call. They might have something.
They're not in the NFT market then?
They might have something in your color of explosiveness.
Okay. Wow. That is a very dynamite idea. But as far as Unreal Engine, I mean, the amount of possibility, because all you have to do is buy the engine and then YouTube how to work it, right? As a general overall
Is that all?
premise. And you
Well,
can
I don't know.
make a fucking AAA game. How do I know that? Because Bright Memory, one man made Bright Memory. You can go on Steam right now, find it. He's still fucking making it. And I can't wait till he finishes it because it was one of the biggest gems in like Steam gaming is that this one man made this amazing first-person shooter with amazing physics and dynamics and all this stuff. And it was in a last-gen graphics development engine. So there's a lot of stuff that one person can do if they really saw this inspired and wanted to make a game. You could just buy the engine, make your game. That's it. I make it sound so easy.
It's that simple. Just
Do it.
$1 million. There you go. It's
The
in your
basic
pocket.
engine is available on the Epic Store, so you can download it and mess with it first.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Epic makes it very easy. You can buy that Unreal Engine, and if you are very interested in video game development, you can buy that engine and make whatever
you can make your
fucking
own game,
you want.
essentially.
It is an option, and I don't, and it's a lot like, well, you know, it seems like a simple premise. Somebody will take me up on that offer, and you can
Why not?
publicize your game right here. I don't care if it's dog shit. We'll still talk about it.
You may
We'll
not
probably
like
make a game.
what we
We'll
say.
make a game that stars Katarina. Just her,
Like-
you know, giving disjection
Yeah.
over our comments.
Yes, but it may be dog shit. It may be great. A lot like our next story.
I think it would actually be a winner.
It might be a good one because along the lines of the Unreal 5 engine, we will find a new Tomb Raider game is coming built on said Unreal 5 engine. Lara Croft's next adventure, the 13th mainline Tomb Raider game, is now in development. Crystal Dynamics confirmed Tuesday the developer said the next Tomb Raider game will be built in the Epic Games Unreal 5 engine. The next level storytelling and gameplay experience Crystal Dynamics has used its own Foundation engine for in recent past will now be said taken on by Unreal. So my main question here, old man, is what do you want to see? They've done a lot of different things with Tomb Raider.
I mean, the reboot with the whole series and encapsulated on Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I mean, that was, that was really good.
They had that kind of like survival-esque.
Yeah, that was the first one. It
game
was just
with
Tomb Raider.
the reboot, to where they had like, oh, well, you have crafting. Like,
And it fell in line with the new with then the the generation release of the consoles.
it still
as
had
well.
that puzzle aspect to it, but it had that. It was like, oh, new element, and it felt fresh. Okay, I didn't mind the last Tomb Raider games.
I still touch you touch them from time to time. It's just to get through and extend the story a little bit. But the story is amazing, and I'll still play it from
It's
time.
not
But
bad.
The death scenes in those games were, oh my god! Like whenever you got killed in one of those, it was always
Yes.
something different. And
Yeah.
it surprised you.
I mean, I played a little bit of the new ones. I mean, they made like 2 or 3 of those games, right?
Right.
3 of them. I played one of them, and I was impressed with it, but it just didn't kind of grip me. But even when they released those trailers and everything, I thought, oh, wow, that's a really good premise. So I'll still acknowledge how good that game is, even if it's not quite my cup of tea, not like the old ones. But I was thinking about this, like, how would you really refresh this Tomb Raider series next? And my mind ultimately goes to a kind of open world game for Tomb Raider.
I was going to say the same thing, but make it an open world, but like open world in like a where you can have visitors come into your world, kind of like how you have visitors come into your world in Elden Ring. Don't make it Elden Ring. Just make it something like just a fresh aspect where you have like you can go to a spot in the map and then you all do some type of mission together and then you disband. It doesn't have to be like fully connected. But
It's almost like an MMO premise that you're talking about.
Well, that's what Elden Ring does. It's half MMO, half single player.
Yeah.
But like you can then have a party of 4 or 5 where you all like explore or spelunk whatever version of like the cave or whatever like enemy that you
Spelunking and
face together.
crunking.
Yeah, stick it right up there, spelunking.
Okay. It's a bit
Whatever that
specific.
Sure.
I don't know where the spelunking hole is, but it's very invasive.
Yeah.
He is TNT.
Also depends on where you are when someone mentions it.
A bit. But I like the idea of an open world Tomb Raider game to where you have different, almost like Assassin's Creed style, to where different puzzled tombs that you have to go through, and you have different animals and enemies in between to traverse, and different vehicles and stuff, almost to like what was it, Ubisoft did with the Ghost Recon series. You could do that with Tomb Raider and really have a lot of like Breath of the Wild, like multiple. Sorry, Kelly. Multiple.
You killed him.
I killed Kelly again. But multiple different
You
shrines,
bastard.
quote unquote shrines that you could visit and go back to. And, like that kind of thing. And then you do the old, the Fallen Order thing of replayability, Metroidvania style, and have areas that you can't access, thank you, again. So that way you have that replayability into it. I think that would be the optimal area for like another Tomb Raider game, giving the player, especially in Unreal 5 engine, after you saw what it did in The Matrix, giggity, having that in like a jungle, like you could have a fucking actual legit jungle in a game now. Have multiple different ants and insects and animals all around you and all that in game, to where the immersion, I feel, is right for an open world Tomb Raider. That's my
I just want it done right though.
Well, that's my hot take on it, because the right studio on it, I think they're, especially
Never
with
heard of
this
them.
engine and how good we've already talked about it up until now and how this looks, having the right studios behind this engine, you could have a whole new take on a bunch of different IPs and a lot more detail and, attention to what the fans want. So that's kind of what I saw this as. It's a beacon of hope is what it is. But another beacon is our end segment. Because I thought I'd dilute it down. We'll bring it down to the core nerdy principles for this one and just bring it down to what mutant ability would you want most and what would you realistically end up with? So, obviously, mutants in the Marvel X-Men universe, which one would you want ultimately? Like, healing?
Of existing
thanks.
mutants or
Anything you can think of.
Mutants in
If we
general.
could make something up.
Sure.
But it can't be like, I have
That's
the
not an
ability to do
answer.
everything.
Yeah.
I picked that one.
No little kid wishes.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate. That's the ultimate law of the end segment. No little kid wishes. I'm the president of everything. That's my power.
I don't
Like that
think
can't be a thing. But as far as a mutant ability, the realistic one I always felt like I would be cursed with was Cyclops because of my farsightedness. I just thought like if I had a mutant ability, life would fuck me by giving me laser vision. And then I'd make it into lemons by being a killing machine for the government. So it would work out in the back end, giggity. But that was my ultimate, like, no matter what I thought, like, my first one would ultimately be Nightcrawler's ability without the freakish disposition. No offense. Like, even if there's a big... Actually, that would be perfect for you, big brother, because you can't smell. Because Nightcrawler shifts in between dimensions. And one is like a hell dimension, which is like, it smells like sulfur, which is like rotten eggs.
I'd probably smell that. I remember that as a kid.
Okay, so, all right, maybe you won't be keen, but you're probably the best off for that Nightcrawler.
Can't be
Power
much
than
better or
us.
worse than other smells I've heard described.
That was the best thing ever in the family chat was Big Brother asking, what does money smell like?
Yeah, not like ass money, like fresh, clean, like money, new money from the bank. I worked in a bank. I couldn't smell then either, but
And Amanda actually
So,
had the best answer.
she had a good one. Like, I don't remember what she said.
I forget what she said, but at the
I don't
point,
have
at
access
that
to
time, he was like, wow, okay, fair enough. So, mutant ability, back onto that. Smell. I mean, Wolverine's smell ability. You'd be,
Yeah,
yeah, never mind.
I
You
was in
wouldn't
a
like
smell study with 200 other people, and most of us were like, "No, that's all right. You can keep it."
it.
Really? I mean, I'll participate in your stupid study. Smelling containers don't smell like anything. Which one smells different? I'll
I
smell
can't
it.
imagine having any mutant power and not somehow corrupting it. So it's better
Flight.
off that I don't.
What
have
would
any.
be the
Flight.
one that you would least corrupt?
Flight. It'd be amazing.
Like telekinesis, I would fuck with everyone.
Oh yeah, that would.
Like I always wanted to be Jean Grey. And that's
powerful
not
mind, yeah.
a good idea for me. It's not.
Phoenix powers or no Phoenix powers? Which are we talking about? If
No, you get the whole kit
Jean
and
Grey. I'm
caboodle.
not even getting into Phoenix because that
you with
is
Phoenix
beyond
powers
control.
is like apocalypse level
just-
event.
I'm just talking Jean Grey. Period.
Okay. All
Jean
right.
Grey.
I mean, that's manageable at least.
But I also know that I'd get up to the worst kind of shit if I had Jean Grey's powers.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I had, like, let's say, Elixir.
Yeah.
The ability to heal people on a genetic DNA level.
Oh, I'd be so judgmental on my powers. Like,
But
do I want to
thank
heal you?
Do not give me powers. Don't
I
do it.
wanna
It's
heal-
not going to work out.
It's
It's not
not.
going to work out.
It's not.
I
Why'd
feel
you have
like
to
the
add
only powers
realism?
I should probably have are like from that movie Sky High. That one kid that either turned into a guinea pig or the one that when he claps his hands he glows in the dark. Like
or like Meg from Family
like a
Guy,
glow
where her nails grew longer.
no, I would still
Glow
cause
stick?
way too much damage with that. It needs to be
A glow
something.
stick? Chris knew what I'm saying. You knew the hand gesture I'm doing.
Even the
A
fucking
glow
seemingly.
stick. I saw it.
Even the
That's funny
seemingly,
stuff there.
even the seemingly like innocuous, like, oh, your nails just get longer. Cat's like, no, I'd still fuck you up.
Seriously. Don't. If it's something that could be used to harm someone, don't give it to me because I have.
That's our resident Amazonian, our wonderful woman, fresh off the boat from
Hey.
Themyscira.
As always, rooted in reality.
Don't stick
okay?
it in your her hand.
Rooted
She's
in
gonna rip
reality.
it off.
Which is why, remember
gonna
when we
rip the
asked
glow
what,
stick off,
like
so
if we
be
could have
careful.
any kind of superpower, what it would be, and
Yeah.
mine was only to only have to always have exactly the amount of money I needed for whatever I wanted.
So you'd be more like luck.
Don't give me more than that.
You'd be more along the lines of like luck is what you would want, but whatever you
I
would
think-
get would probably just get you in trouble.
But for real,
Okay,
for real.
that's an adequate
The only
synopsis.
other thing that I don't even know if that's like a mutant
A good
power, just
example
to
of
be
this
able
is
to-
the movie Jumper.
Yes,
or even The Boys,
yes.
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you see people who get powers and initially want to do good with them, but get corrupted by
Oh, I would
the system
totally.
and whatever. Like
I would
just
totally sell out.
Almost
I
like
would
it's a
sell
metaphor
out
for
in an
Still human.
instant.
They're still humanoid. They still have feelings. They still have a compass that
Oh.
they have to muddle through.
And not to mention in this society where everyone is so hypercritical,
Yep.
and you think you're doing something good, but you end up causing property damage, or someone gets I don't want to I hope nobody would get hurt, but just like you're trying to do the right thing, but you're not going about it the right way, or like
It would be
Oh gosh, what was
horrible
his
because superheroes would get
the one
surveys,
the-
and then
from
superhero surveys
Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
tank
the
them.
other guy, Patriot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
US agent?
Yeah,
Where the-
U.S. agent. yeah.
US, thank you. US agent. Like the intentions are good. He wants to be a hero. He wants to do the right thing, but immediately it's corrupted because he's still a person with feelings and biases and prejudices, and none of us are so perfect that we can be handed these powers.
I'm telling you,
I
there
mean,
would
One
be
Division is a
not-
good example of this.
there would be
Yeah.
a dealer rater of superheroes if there was this if there were powers, because it would be like Captain America 5 stars, U.S. agent like -3 stars. Like there would be that kind of judgmentalism in the superpowers. But old man, what would your mutant ability be?
I mean, what I would probably get stuck with and it would end up biting me in the ass is probably Professor X.
I thought
only
I thought
because-
like a tech ability, like being able to manipulate tech, would be the one you would end up with because you're naturally tech
to
ability.
be able to manipulate tech.
and it
like
would
you
just
do
be
is just
very
smart.
disappointing to be
learn
like,
it.
really? This is my power? I can already do this.
My problem with that power is that I don't have the fortitude to block everybody out. And it would just make me insane, crazier than what I already am.
Dude, that
Like
would be
Legion.
you would be the ultimate fucking villain then. You have this
All of us would be.
you
Don't
have
even-
this
don't even
ultimate
play. We would all
tech ability.
suck.
But the
Yeah, we
the
would all fuck
yammerings
a lot.
the yammerings of everybody online just drives you insane, and it drives you to damn. All right, I'm gonna stop talking because we got a great premise for for some kind of series right here.
I can't stand the people near me, let alone the people that are not in my head.
So, I mean, all right, we got a good
Just
basis
saying.
there. Your daughter, what power? What mutant ability?
What mutant ability do you want?
And what would you get?
Whatever mutant ability.
Oh, is that like any superpower that should
Anything. Yeah.
Mutant ability. Yeah.
Levin's power? Stranger Things.
She wants Eleven's powers from Stranger
Man,
Things.
I want to be able to make someone pee themselves. They're bothering me. Just pee
I
yourself.
mean, if
That's
you
the
just
power.
want them to
See what I'm
pee
saying?
I don't,
yourself.
I'm unfamiliar.
see
with
what
the
I'm
show,
saying?
So what is this?
Another
person's
Jean
power?
Grey.
Yeah, another Jean Grey, pretty
Jean
much.
Grey. Okay. Does she
Yeah.
also turn into?
And
a phoenix
immediately
kill the world?
immediately went to the dark side.
Although,
This is why we
she-
can't have these things.
She did.
Connor would be one punch. You know that.
Well, yeah, but she ultimately went to. I want to
I
make
would
people
never
pee
be able to do a
themselves.
fist bump with him anymore.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh shit!
You wouldn't even have that. You wouldn't have an arm. If you would implode, and then
Yeah.
God, then it would be Brightburn.
That's pretty
Talk
much
about
what
an
all of
origin
us would
story.
be.
He killed his father.
All right. In our last hope for something that doesn't go like Zack Snyder or DC Dark, Big Brother, what is your mutant ability that you want, and what is the one that you would turn out with?
I was thinking flight would be fun. Just to be able to fly. I'm not for superhero purposes because I want to go over there. and
Just
it'd be
strictly.
cool to like fly.
I mean, strictly
'Cause
like
that would be cool.
I get it.
you'd
I
have to
get
like
it. In that
build
sense, I'd
up.
like to be able to teleport.
You'd have to build up your tolerance
Oh
to where or not tolerance, but endurance rather.
Yeah, your endurance. You have to do like
To
wind
where
sprints.
You can't just fly to Europe.
Yeah, you got to work
You
up
would
to it.
drown. You have to
Gotta
build
get
up
a,
to
yeah,
that.
a backpack with lots of food for calories, because I imagine
You know, like,
flying must
none of
take
us-
Yeah,
calories.
your
None of us are
metabolic
gonna.
rate when you're flying.
Yeah,
is
you gotta,
through the
like-
roof there.
Yeah, like none
Oh
of
my
us
God,
are gonna.
I'd be so
We're not gonna
skinny.
run a marathon. You know what I mean? We're not just gonna all of a sudden sign up for marathons tomorrow.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like
That's
Iron
why.
Mans.
That's why telekinesis is the best thing, because you could just use your mind to do it. You don't have to. You don't have to
Well,
walk.
and then we get to Jean Grey, and then I'm messing with people because I don't want to wait in line at the.
You could
Starbucks
separate the
and shit.
powers,
Like,
though. You could just be
definitely
not
not good.
Well, there's
telekinesis. You can move stuff with your mind. just not-
Psychokinesis.
Yeah, I would literally
also
pick up
be
cars
awesome.
from the drive-through and put
Okay,
them behind
so how
me
about we
so that I
alter
could
it
get
by
it.
saying you can only move yourself with your mind, because that's technically what we're doing
I was gonna say that. Then we already have this superpower.
now.
Well, then I'd say
Without
I'd,
effort.
And look what I've done with it. Nothing good. So here we are.
I'd say I'd spin me right around, baby, right around. But I
like a
ultimately
record,
like
baby.
that.
round, right round.
But ultimately, if we had mutant abilities, the ultimate end would be exactly how X-Men turned out, to where the government would start stepping in, building giant fucking robots to hunt us down, and then persecute us for being awesome.
Look, this is just something
Oh,
I
well,
can naturally do.
Based
I
on
can
what
just,
we've all said, rightfully so.
I can just naturally shoot
Yeah.
lasers that are more powerful than all your atomic weapons.
This is
combined.
my
Out
birthright,
eyes.
okay? Like, yeah, your birthright kills people. Sit down, Virginia. There would have to be regulation.
Mutants are people too.
Yeah, guess what? You're a machine and a death weapon. Sit in the corner.
Right. This is why we can't have these things. That's why nature
exactly
won't
why
allow
We'd
it.
all
it's not
end
in
up-
there.
We're not
Like-
allowed to have nice things.
We'd
You know
all
that.
end up like Wolverine. They'd put us in the front lines.
The closest we get is like people like Michael Phelps, whose bodies are just designed to be really good swimmers. That's as close as we get.
Not
He's
really
Aquaman.
designed.
Rightfully so.
So you're
More
saying
hard work.
Michael Phelps is Aquaman?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
They did this whole scientific study. His lungs are larger than most people's. His torso is
Slightly.
longer. His legs are shorter, which makes him just
Ain't that a bitch?
designed
Certain
to
organs,
be
certain
good at swimming.
certain
That's why
organs.
he's untouchable.
certain organs, if they're bigger, it's a good thing. But if
Let's
you're
no,
hu-
we're not. We're
if you're-
not. No.
no,
not.
I wasn't going that way.
With
But
like
We're not.
a really big pole.
not.
when
Don't
I pull
lie
out
to
my
me
really
now.
big pole.
I wasn't going that way.
You
But
weren't
I was
going
my
to
point
really
was
big- oh, okay. pole.
certain organs, if they're bigger, it's a good thing. Giggity.
Sometimes
but-
they get really big.
Like if you have an organ like say your heart, if
Oh, right.
that's bigger,
That-
that's a
that-
fucking problem.
There's a bit of an issue there.
That is a big problem.
You would think so.
The Grinch has a heart issue. And it's all because of accepting Christmas. I guess that's the ultimate bombshell I wanted to end this podcast off with.
Wow. we're
Like
really
The
better
thank yous.
for that.
You're a better person knowing that. Like thanking Mark Gervais, Dan Birch, Megan Kinney, Matthew Kennedy, and you, loyal Woljanger, for liking, commenting, subscribing, and overall supporting the podcast. And of course, we end off this podcast with none other than a long drawn out goodbye. I am your host, Matthew Bucarell, the Mat Man. In the Projanger box, we have Christopher Bristow, the old man. All the way from Thermoscara, our wonderful woman, Katerina Thermoscara. Our omnipotent presence that is Big Brother Stephen Bucarell. As well as our mascot and hero at time, Link Diablo. And of course, it doesn't matter. Sorry, wrong podcast. We love you. We miss you. We want to see you next week. Until then, game on, Woljaggers. Bye-bye.
play on Batangas. That was a good segue. Our Island Kelly.
Oh, now we're gonna end it.
Shut
oh,
it
my
off.
God. Oh, all right, bye-bye.
Doodle butt.
So,
He checks in.
fun stuff.
We nuclear bombed. the
While we
Rams.
were recording there, Dad, I have a little present for you digitally.
Giggity.
There you go in Messenger.
I don't have Messenger up.
Wanted you to see it first.
If this doesn't take us there.
I gotta tell you, if there was a rating system on producers,
What?
Yeah, you're welcome. I found it on
What
my
I think
site.
it is?
The first movie in director's cut.
What?
what chat are you looking at?
A
The
private
one I
one.
just
Mind your business.
I'm just like, look at your chat. I'm looking at my phone, like, I don't see shit.
there. Send it to you too.
There we go.
Yes?
Yeah, just found it. I was just like, yeah, she's gonna like this. I'm gonna download it right now. So that's what I did.
I'm just trying to
Oh,
log
that
into
one,
my
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Microsoft line.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's director's cut in HD 4K.
Thank you, sir.
I tried.
I will
Hey,
just
Dios
step off
mío.
camera.
His bladder's going to explode. I prefer it to not explode on my carpet. Then I have to rub his face in it. That's awkward.
Make sure it's on camera.
You know,
But yes, you could put that to a thumb drive and you can watch it on your 4K TV.
That is amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, whenever you need a movie, just let me know.
oh, we thought of one. I can't remember it now. Wag the Dog. Have you seen Wag the Dog?
Oh, let me find it.
I saw that one. That was a
97.
amazing movie.
DVD rip. Yeah, it's a poor quality one, but I can download it.
That Matthew's never seen that. That was a really good.
Okay.
If you haven't seen it, that's one.
I mean, it's under a gig. I mean, the movie I just downloaded for Cat is 13.8 gigs. Because
Yeah,
it's
I would
4K.
imagine they don't have an HD version.
Well, I mean, they would. It's
Wag
just
the
not
Dog. I brought that one.
officially out there. I mean, I can check on Google Play.
Oh, yeah. Well, you Wag the Dog. Yeah.
Yeah, he
That's
said
the
he
next
never
one we got to watch.
He's never seen it.
He's never seen it.
No, but that Rogan, I started listening to that Rogan podcast with that director, and that guy's
That
got,
guy's
it's available
Something.
on
he's interesting.
Dustin Hoffman,
Yeah.
Robert De Niro. Wag the Dog. Yeah, I see it. 97 comedy. I'll wait. So what I'll do is I'll wait till I get
Comedy.
my Google Play rewards.
I thought it.
I'll wait till I build up credit for that, and I'll just buy it free for there because
Oh.
the copy I got is real shitty.
Yeah, that's
Oh, okay.
probably best.
I mean, to put it in perspective, the copy I just got, Cat, for the Star Trek is a shy under 14 gigs. The copy that for Wag the Dog on my website is 700 megs. So it is CD quality. Just quantify that.
yeah,
It looks
Betamax.
very shitty on 4K TV.
It was an old movie.
97. I mean, there's the one I got her is
Things weren't even in
1979. But-
So I was watching this TikTok of this guy who finds what are those really popular sneakers? Jordans.
Yeah.
At like Goodwills and stuff, and then restores them to new.
Ah,
And so he was at a thrift store and he found some, and he's like, "Oh yeah, these are some classics. They're 20 years old." And I'm like, "Yeah, these look like freaking 80s shoes for real." And then he pulls back the tag. He goes, "Yep, 2001." And I was like, "Oh."
I had a coworker. She's like
That hurt me
26.
so much.
She went, did something wrong and like, did something with her hip. And she's like, oh, I'm getting so old. I wanted to bitch slap the fuck out of her. Like, are you
I just-
fucking kidding me?
I know that it's 2022. I know, but when he said 20-year-old sneakers, I was like, oh, those look like 80s Jordans for sure. Did he even have Jordans in the 80s?
There's that
Oh,
one
no.
meme. What I think a 20-year-old car is and what a 20-year-old car actually is. And it hurt my soul. And I was like,
Yeah,
"No,
it's also the meme. It's like what you think a 20-year-old Final Fantasy is, and here's actually a 20-year-old Final Fantasy, which is Final Fantasy 10. And everybody thinks it's like Final Fantasy, 2 on Super Nintendo.
dude, look up a 20-year-old song."
Yeah, I know. It's actually the thong song from Cisco. You're welcome.
I read something about like the guy he was getting carded for alcohol and
Now you got
they
that in your
glanced
head there,
down,
man.
and then they glanced down and glanced back up. He's like, "You're all good," and they're like, "You saw it that fast?" He goes, "Oh, I saw 19," and I was like, "Oh, again, ow, ow, ow."
I'm singing
Yeah.
the thong song in my head.
Yeah,
Don't
you're
mind me.
hurting me.
God.
That could be the light.
Yeah, you're welcome
So
for that
hurtful.
throwback.
Oh, fuck. Getting old ain't easy.
Dude, that's when like U2's album Beautiful Day is 20 years old. Like that's mind-boggling.
Oh, my God. So, side note, Ultimate Wall Janger, Joe Gilmore, comes up to me. I forgot what we were talking about. And he goes, it's kind of fucked up. You call your brother the old man.
No. No. You stupid.
I was like, they're kind of close in age,
it's still worse when they confuse us for twins, which is really worse for you because
Oh my
I'm
God.
way older.
We were in Starbucks.
I'll be collecting Social Security.
And this
It'll
was
still be
like-
a dream for you.
I was in college. We walked into Starbucks one time, and this guy, this woman behind the counter said, "Oh, are you twins?" Steve goes, "Yeah, fraternal, 6 years."
Matt goes, it was hell on our mother.
Well, I didn't know.
Okay.
Just-
Thank you.
We've gotten this our whole life because we look so alike. I will never forget that sick ass burn because he came back with it in like 2 fucking seconds. Like, "Oh, you guys twins? Yeah, fraternal. Our mother was in labor for 6 years." You can both hear him say that.
Y'all ain't right.
I've been fucked up for years. This ain't new. They just gave me a microphone.
People used to ask my sister and I if we were twins a lot when we were younger. My mother would dress us, and we had the same haircuts, and my mother would dress us in similar outfits. If anyone were to see my sister and I now, you would not even know we were related.
I mean, I don't know. It's just, it kind of seems natural for me, because like
My
of
younger
course
brother
they're supposed
looks
to
more
look
like
together.
Matt than I look like him. I mean, so that
I look
tells
more
you.
like my cousin Sandy than I do my own sister.
That's crazy because the old man looks nothing like either of his parents. It looks like he was adopted. I've seen
Milkman's son.
I've seen both
We
of
had
his
milkman back
parents.
then.
I've seen both of his parents, and it does not make sense to me. I feel like you were left on a stoop by like ego. He was like, "I'll leave this one here." You were
They already knew I was a crazy fucker to start.
like, fuck it, we'll take this one in. You missed me comparing old man to a baby left on a stoop.
Okay.
That's the reaction I wanted. It's the
That's
normal reaction.
The reaction you're getting, though.
It's the normal reaction I get from my brother normally when I open my mouth.
utter indifference.
Try living with me. You'll get it. So, yeah, this has been a bomb-ass podcast.
What did you do?
She didn't talk much, did you?
No, she just sat there, and then I mentioned the
Sat
two
there,
podcasts.
listened to our dick jokes.
Yeah. And then I mentioned the two podcasts that she was on, which was the first one was Stop Hunting Connor, Yogurt Aside. And the second was, oh God, what did I just say?
Where was the one where Big Brother was worried about his carpet?
It's the yogurt
That's
one.
the yogurt one.
That's
But-
yogurt.
and then the other one was Smitches Get
I mentioned
Stitches. Fuck, what was the rest of that? Smitches Get Stitches. I don't know. I just said it. Listen to the earlier on in the.
I mean, at Big Brother,
Yeah.
she's, Emma here is not going to be faced by any of your jokes because she listens to Stephen Lynch. So that's the barometer that I've set.
I haven't listened to him.
I love.
I haven't heard-
Stephen Lynch.
I haven't listened to him in a
My name is
A decade,
Satan. Hi. What was it? Mephistopheles, whatever. First thing I want to get to is Lower Decks. Lower Decks
Okay.
is amazing. Love it.
Isn't it freaking hilarious?
The first moment from when Mira gets the other guy and she has the Romulan whiskey and then breaks it and then slices his leg with the Klingon bat'leth. Like, fucking love that. That was amazing. Like,
Tawny Newsome, who's the person that does the voice of the Mariner, she does, or she used to, I don't know if she still does, did this podcast called Yo, Is This Racist? And I used to listen to it. And I remember specifically the episode where she announced that she would be doing a voice for Star Trek Lower Decks. So in that first episode, when you're hearing Mariner, I'm hearing this woman whose podcast I've listened to for a couple of years. And I'm like, love to see it.
yeah.
I was so glad that the show was that good because, I wanted it for her. But yeah, the
Kind-
whole cast.
I kind of get like a Rick and Morty kind of comedy vibe in like the Star Trek
I
universe.
definitely see that. Very quick. The humor, it's fast.
It's very nice. And we
There's this
started
one
checking out
episode-
Discovery as
Go ahead.
well.
Oh, good. You're only on the first season?
Yeah. For a third episode to where,
commercials and all.
yeah.
Makes me want to drill a
Commercial.
hole in my head.
Yeah, old man went with the ad segmented Paramount Plus
Oh,
subscription. So
What do you think of those Klingons?
Where's their hair? Klingons had hair.
See, this
What'd you do with their
is-
hair? They had all this
To me,
hair.
This to me is like the fundamentalist Klingons. Think of like Klingons that inbreed. And
okay.
this is what you get. You know what I'm saying?
So you're
That's how
talking
I
about,
thought
like,
of it, as like extreme like pockets where they don't go outside of their little tribe or what have you. So this is the evolution of that.
All right, I'll accept
So you're talking about like royal family Klingons, like British royal
Well,
family kind
not
of Klingons.
necessarily, but like let's just say
meet your
Let's
sister
let's
wife.
take a small let's take a small country like Georgia. Georgia's not a super large country. right?
Georgia. Sorry.
And they cut themselves off from the rest of civilization. So give it a
nobody's.
couple of 100 years, everybody's related.
Well, Japan did that for a while.
And then you kind of get this like strain that is now part of everyone in that one particular, and that's how I look at the Klingons. They're like Klingons, they're like this one sect that were very concerned with the purity of their blood, of their Klingonness. And this is how we got to this
Yeah.
very extreme version of them.
Because you had a whole bunch
That's my
of
theory
different.
anyway.
You had a whole bunch of different. A whole bunch of different versions of the Klingons.
Mhm.
You have the original series, TNG,
Right.
and a lot of what we know was TNG. But you also have the Abrams universe, as well as now this new universe of Klingons.
So you have the Kelvin universe, and you have the original series, and you have all of these other multiverses, mirror universes, I should say mirror universes.
Yeah, it's more like a mirror universe.
And even how they said that the original series Klingons, the reason why they didn't have ridges is because that's after they had been messing with the DNA that they had used on Khan.
The Ruffles
Yeah,
DNA,
that's
because
why
Ruffles
the
have
Ruffles
ridges.
had no ridges.
Oh, I was going to say that.
The way, the thing is, I've spent enough time with you that I knew exactly where that was going.
Very true. But
I was ready
back to
for it.
ad placement, of course. But no, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying all the Star Trek content on the Bob Network because
Yep.
I have
Me too.
missed it. Honestly,
There's this one
Nice.
episode of Lower Decks, which I think is very early in the first season. It's only a couple episodes in where they start talking about who the best worst villains were.
Mhm.
And the way that it's if you've ever been with people who are like super hardcore into Star Trek and can name every little thing, like if you
No.
give them the name of the episode, they know exactly what it is.
yeah.
And the way they
Yeah.
were arguing back and forth about this reminded me of having two people having this argument. And it was hilarious to me because I swear I've heard word for word this conversation before. But yeah,
That's where they
it's,
got it from.
well, there's a Facebook group that I'm in called Star Trek Shit Posting, and we have confirmed. Well, there are cast members of different Star Treks that are in that Facebook group, but also writers from Star Trek in that Lower Decks in that group. Even though we don't know who they are, we know that they're there because there's stuff that's happened within that group that ends up being put into episodes later on, and we're like, oh.
That's awesome. Yeah. Why wouldn't you? You just hop on and troll a fucking fan group, and you're gonna get your best ideas from that.
Oh yeah, the memes are chef's kiss.
So, first
But I'm
story.
very happy that you're enjoying it. Yay!
I am. And then first story that I wanted to talk about in the live folder. You can create a new tab, just so we can hop back to the Projangers page. But
Our uncle and aunt, they have dedicated Christmas trees. She has a dedicated Christmas tree. Oh no, Uncle Mike has a dedicated Christmas tree to Star Trek
yes,
with
And-
I
a
love that.
big, gigantic Enterprise that he puts on the top of it.
yes.
Think.
And then Ultimate Walljanger.
Photo.
I don't know. Ultimate Walljanger Moisel Robinson. His stepdad has a nerdy case, and he has a bunch of like Star Trek little memorabilia in there that he cherishes. That it's nice to where you see these weird, not weird, but well, yes, weird, but different kind of Star Trek nerds pop up. And nerds have this weird, it's almost like a language. You can admit the old man in the Zoom. But nerds have this weird language to where you'll have a normal conversation and you may say a word or a phrase or something differently. And a fan or a nerd of that particular subject will instantly key in. And then you ultimately have a 7-hour conversation with a person that you never intended to have. Like, that's a kind of truly original kind of thing to nerddom, to where
That's one of the best reasons to go to a convention because you just never know where those conversations are going to go. And you can't find people with as rich a cornucopia of passions that are like nerd related unless you're there. I've met so many wonderful people and learned so much about all these different fandoms from people who are just super
Yeah.
passionate that I never would have met had I not gone to something like that.
Well, also, I have always had an awesome conversation with John and Zach, the IT guys at my company. And John, he asked me today, he was like, so, the Batman, is it good? I'm seeing a lot of stuff otherwise. And I was like, no, it's good. It's good. It's a detective
What if you see
noir.
stuff otherwise?
With
I mean-
hair.
People, look, I said,
Right.
look,
In his face.
I love that. I love that
It's
that tone of
always
dejection that you were just
in
like.
his face.
that was the fucking,
that?
but that was the only thing that I said bad about the Batman. I was like, look, you just got to be okay with hair in his face. But besides that, it's an awesome detective
Some
noir.
scissors to cut the. How do you see?
So I'm gonna let Emma take over for me because I need to eat because I haven't eaten yet. I'm starving.
Okay. Substitute Perjanger Emma, who was on
Substitute
God, what was the last podcast? It was probably, no.
We called
The
it
first
Smash
one.
the Goldfish.
No, first one was Stop Hunting Connor, Yogurt Aside.
Oh yeah, that's when he pounded. the
And then there was Forgettable Faces, Smitches Get Stitches.
goldfish.
You didn't think I remembered those podcasts, did you?
No, I don't.
I never thought about it.
I remember weird stuff. That's why I am the Matt Man. But,
It's probably because your name's Matt.
well, yes, that and every other kid in the 90s was named
If your
Matt.
name was like Dan, it'd be so weird.
Dan Man?
Why would we call you Matt Man? That'd be stupid.
That would be stupid.
His name's
Although-
Dan, but we call him Matt Man. Why? I don't know.
Although, if I create a comic based on the Matt Man, it's not going to be that guy's name. He's like, that's stupid. Why the fuck would my name be Matt if my superhero name is the Matt Man? It'd be very easy to find me.
Like there's one.
You've got a fair point there.
You know what I mean? And just have a, like, oh, my name's actually Hamish. Nobody would ever know. Hamish is the Matt Man? You mean his name's not Matt? That would be the big controversy on time. Matt Man's name, not Matt. And that's what the goldfish would circle.
What do
around.
we have here?
But
in this horrible
the first live folder.
Yeah.
I thought this was
Underneath
underneath the crap, but you can stay on that YouTube image there. But there was a bit of an incident because a gamer survives a bullet to the head thanks to a Razer headset.
right here.
Yeah, right up top there in the very corner, you could see the Razer headset.
I'm trying to avoid the ad.
You can zoom in like my laptop is, and it'll enlarge all that, eliminate the ads. But a gamer has claimed that their Razer headset ended up saving their life when it deflected a stray bullet that flew into their room from a nearby window.
You know you live in a safe neighborhood when. It's very safe. Just get the Razer headset and
Old
a
man
flak
picked the
jacket.
perfect time to have his child take the steering wheel. So 18-year-old Redditor Enough Dance 956
Maybe that's why they shot at him.
from Torrance,
No?
Canada. It's Canada.
Oh.
Who would have known they had fucking like drive-by
It's
shootings in
Canada.
Canada?
No, someone was probably hunting in the area.
There you go. There you go. A logical explanation. Okay.
I don't
well-
see Canadians as.
I gotta
that
tell ya.
type. Unless it's over hockey. Was he playing hockey? It could be because of the hockey.
It could have been
They
because
get
of the hockey.
they will riot over some hockey.
They will. But I didn't actually
But
read the
who
story
wouldn't?
either to see it was Canada because that just makes sense, it being Canada. Okay, first off.
Yeah, I mean it's more likely. I mean it looks
Hunting
like it's a
accident
suburbs.
in Canada.
Someone
mean-
was hunting.
That doesn't look like a powerful bullet because
Whatever.
that is a standard headset.
It went through the window. You see in the background
Well, yeah. It went through the window
Behind,
first.
the Perjanger box.
Yeah, so it actually had a good bit else in the way. It's not like, boom, I can wear my Razer headset and I'll be safe from here to here. But it's just a miracle. You got to point out miracles every once
That's
in a while.
nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
Restore
Like-
faith in a something.
Yeah. Like this next end credit story.
Hello.
Because right here, you can find on Polygon, they have a article here to where you can find the Halo TV series first episode for absolutely free.
Okay.
And literally, if you click that video, it would just start off playing Halo's episode 1. The thing that I immediately loved was that it was good. Like,
Oh.
especially as an adaptation, it was really good. They did not just immediately blare Master Chief in your face, like a blazing billboard. They built to it in the episode. You're about like 7 minutes in, and you're like, oh, it's about to go down. And that's what got me onto the Paramount Plus kick, which inspired all the Lower Decks and all that. So that's why I wanted to highlight Paramount Plus really has. I mean,
Lots of commercials.
I shit on it in the beginning.
Commercials to turn it on, commercials to look at it.
Yeah.
There's a commercial playing right now because we talked about it.
Yeah.
Hold on. There's another Paramount commercial.
Yeah. But
Oh,
I do
another commercial.
appreciate the content because this is the crown jewel of Paramount Plus. Even after watching what little I did of the Star Trek content they have on there, the Halo series is the pull for the gaming nerds that I really appreciate. And that's what I really wanted to highlight, is that this is a good adaptation. Even if they do show his face in the first episode, it doesn't matter because it is a war show. It is, human colonies being under war, your favorite sci-fi show. You don't have to know shit about Halo
Hello.
to actually get into this show. But if you are a fan, you will appreciate the Covenant. You'll appreciate Master Chief and everything that's going on with the story. And it's one of those things that you will immediately love, no matter what kind of level you are going into the fandom.
How is it?
I watched the first episode. Didn't watch the second. They have 2 episodes available now on Paramount Plus. But I watched a good bit of the first episode, and I got to like minute 8, and I'm in love. So that was the big thing. The Paramount Plus, even though Old Man has ad segments, which drive me up a goddamn wall, just like Big Brother. Might actually still get me to buy my own Paramount Plus because I hate ads so much.
Ads suck the soul from your
They
from
do.
life.
You get so much more time out of your life by just paying for the little bit extra without ads. I feel
And
so good
what's
about
so
my life.
funny is that I have all of these subscriptions that I do pay the additional to get them without the commercials, and then I end up spending the vast majority of my time on either Pluto or Tubi TV, which has
Sling and
I've never been
F1
on
races, no commercials. So there's
because
that.
the F1 race
But-
is broadcast with no commercials.
Doctor Who,
It's not-
I mean,
it's not
you got to
bad
watch
of
the
them. It's-
commercials for Doctor Who if you go on Sling,
and on Pluto,
Yeah.
same thing. They have a Doctor Who channel, but there are commercials.
Are they more up to date than HBO Max?
I don't know. Probably not. No, it's mostly classics, and they repeat like every week. They repeat like the same,
2 episodes.
I don't know, like 4 or 5 episodes, and then there's just another 4 or 5 episodes.
And then they go back to running Star Trek: The Next Generation on loop for
Mhm.
the rest of the time because
That's all they got. Sir
this
Patrick
is what
Stewart.
we got.
That's why. Because he's British.
But what I like about that, it's like because it's not in order, so you're like playing roulette of episodes. You might be seeing something in season 4, and then you're in season
Well,
1,
that's the
and
thing
then you're
is
in season
when we were going
an
through
adventure.
the Next Generation, and I realized I have not watched these in order. I have watched a plethora of
You're watching Star Trek with Alzheimer's.
exactly, if not a gaggle or a fuck ton of Star Trek episodes.
You never
But
know when you're going to get a new episode or meet someone new.
I have not
You never
actually
know what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
unless
I've
you
not
look
actually
on the
watched
lid, 'cause
them
they tell you on
in
the
order.
card.
So
I
that's
just want to say a very nice use of the word plethora.
Thank you.
He's been practicing.
Very welcome.
I'm working on my words.
A
Like
new word
And,
every
and
week.
phonetics.
yeah, like phonetically.
That I don't believe.
Phonetically getting used to hit that subscribe button right there,
The
right
two
above,
youths.
right above
two
my
youths.
head. You're going to find the very best purge hangers and wall hangers video for you. Right above our cardboard Kelly is going to be every single Triforce Podcast and a playlist. And of course, our podcast never ends until our main man Connor says
Fun.
bye-bye.
Fun.